Hello, families. Wanted to make a video and send it out to you to give you some information about beginning to learn a musical instrument in the third, fourth, and fifth grades in the Allentown School District elementary schools. While this video is for anyone interested, it's especially for those who were not able to join our webinar. So just would like to share this information with you and help your student get started with a musical instrument. First of all, a little bit about our program and how it works. The instrumental music lessons are all taught by Allentown School District teachers, and we are focused on your children in the Allentown School District and only your children. We are holding our lessons during the school day. Right now, as our school buildings are closed, we are using Zoom to have our instrument lessons. We each have our own Zoom classes so that when it's time for your student's lesson, they would just log out of their classroom Zoom with their classroom teacher and log into the instrumental music lesson Zoom and join us, have their lesson. And then after their 30-minute lesson time, they would just log out of our Zoom lesson and back into your teacher's classroom Zoom lesson and continue the day that way. How do we begin? Well, the instrument lessons for our beginners this year will be starting in January, and they can begin when you have an instrument and a book. So once you have an instrument and a book, we can begin lessons, and we are planning on beginning those lessons the first week we're back in January. If you buy an instrument on your own, you must also buy a lesson book. This is the book that we're using. It's called Sound Innovations, and it's book number 1 for whichever instrument your child is playing, whether it's violin or flute or trumpet or cello. Just need to be sure that you get the book that is for your child's specific instrument. On the lesson day, how does it work? We're going to let your student know when we are scheduling them for their lessons. Generally, their lessons will be the same day and time each and every week. We will coordinate with your classroom teacher so that your teacher knows what your time is and is aware that you'll be leaving their classroom to join our classroom. Always have your instrument and your book ready for every lesson. And it's the students' responsibility to remember their lesson time. Your classroom teacher won't be reminding you, hey, it's time to go for your instrument lesson now. It's your responsibility to remember which day and what time your lesson is so you can leave your classroom Zoom and join your instrumental music lesson. Practicing at home is super important. Every student is expected to practice at home so they can make progress on their instrument. After all, when you practice, you get better. When you get better, you have more fun. So that's super, super important to be practicing at home. And your family can help you by setting up a specific place and time for you to practice each day. Generally a quiet place where you won't be interrupted and you can focus on your music and your instrument. Think of practicing your instrument as part of your homework. So you do your homework for your classroom, and when that's done, you can do your practicing homework for your instrument lesson as well. So how do you get an instrument? Getting an instrument is important. You can't begin lessons until you have one. Some of you may already own an instrument. If you do, please let your instrumental music teacher know, and I'll put our names and our emails at the end of this presentation so you can contact us. If you already have an instrument, please let us know that you have it, and we'll let you know that you must buy the book also, and we can make sure you have the information to buy that book. So that's one way to get an instrument. You already have one. Some of you might be interested in buying an instrument, and that's fine. We just ask that you contact us to let us help you in buying that instrument. You can sometimes find a good deal on a used instrument and get a decent instrument for a very good price. So that's a possibility. But be very careful when buying an instrument online. If you go to places like Amazon or Walmart.com, you can find musical instruments and they might be a great low price, but it doesn't mean it's a good instrument that's going to work well. We recommend and think the best way to get an instrument into your students' hands is to rent an instrument. We use a company called Zeswitz Music. They've helped us for many years. They've been in business for a long time. The instruments that they rent to our students, they are high quality instruments guaranteed to work right. And that's important. So an instrument that doesn't work right is just going to be frustrating for your student. Zeswitz also has very special pricing for the Allentown School District. So our prices are lower than other school districts. And we thank Zeswitz for that. That's very helpful for us. When you rent with Zeswitz, the instrument's delivered right to your school. You don't have to go anywhere to get it. And your teacher will contact you about how and when to come to the school to pick up that instrument. Also, when you rent an instrument with Zeswitz, damage and repair coverage insurance is included. So if that instrument is damaged and needs repair, they will do that at no extra charge. That's included with your monthly rental fee. So there's times when instruments need to be repaired, and then repairs can be expensive if you own your own instrument. But if you're renting from Zeswitz, those repairs are included in your price. There's also loss coverage and theft coverage. If it's stolen, there's insurance coverage for that as well. So that's all included in your monthly rental price. If you rent an instrument through Zeswitz and you play it for a couple of months and think, I like playing an instrument and I want to keep playing an instrument, but I'd like to switch to a different instrument. All you need to do is call Zeswitz on the phone and they will switch the instrument for you. So you have that flexibility to change as well. And that's an important benefit of renting. And of course, with renting, there's no minimum time. You can return the instrument and stop renting any time you want. We hope you're going to continue playing year after year and play up into the middle school band and then join the high school band as well. But if you decide you have to stop renting the instrument, you can do that at any time. You call Zeswitz and just return the instrument and they'll stop charging your monthly payments. So there's lots of great benefits to renting with Zeswitz. And how do you go about doing that and what does it cost? Well, here's the information for that. First of all, everybody needs to have a book. And I've put that in red because a book is required. You have to have that book. The book is $9.53. Everybody needs a book. Also, we recommend that you buy a music stand. Okay? A music stand costs $13.77. I put that in yellow. You don't absolutely have to buy a music stand, but we recommend it because it helps your child stand up straight with their book right in front of them, not looking down at a table trying to play their instrument with their heads and their necks and their backs bent. Music stand is important. What about the instruments? These are the monthly fees for renting an instrument. For example, you see the flute is $28.60 a month to rent the instrument. These are all what they call at Zeswitz a rent-to-own program. So when you rent from month to month and you play that instrument for a couple of years and you're renting, all the money that you pay to rent is a credit to you and goes towards buying an instrument when you decide a few years, hey, I want to buy my own instrument. All the money you paid to rent goes towards the purchase of that instrument. So that's a good feature as well. But to rent is $28.60 a month for the flute, for example. Same for the clarinet, $28.60. For the saxophone, it's $44.50. And you see the price for renting each month from each of these instruments here. This is a monthly price every month for renting, and that includes the insurance. If your instrument is damaged or lost or stolen, that's all covered. If you have an instrument or buy an instrument of your own and it needs to be repaired, they can be very costly, but repairs are covered for no extra charge in Zeswitz program. So we think this is a great way to get an instrument into your hands. So the first month you rent, let's say you're going to rent a clarinet. The first month you would pay $28.60 plus $9.53 for the book. And if you get a stand, plus the $13.77. That's for your first month. From month 2, 3, and 4, and so on, you would just pay that monthly rental fee, for example, of the clarinet, for $28.60. So the first month is your rental fee and the book and the stand if you get it. Month 2 and 3, and if after that is just that monthly rental fee each month. So How do we go about doing this? Well, you can do this by going to this website, www.zeswitzmusic.com. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on a tablet. You can do it on a desktop computer. It works anyway. And I'd like to show you what that's going to look like. So once you go to this website, you're going to see this web page here, Zeswitz Music, and you're going to see a button that looks like this. It's a blue button that says click here to rent an instrument. When you click that button, you're going to see a page open up that looks like this. You'll look for this blue button here that says rent an instrument. Please click that. That will bring you to their rental page, and you just have to click that blue button again. Click here to rent an instrument. That will bring you to this page. It's going to ask you for your student's first and last name. That's your child. And then billing first and last name. That's the name of the person who will be paying the bill on their credit or debit cards. And your billing email and your phone number. I'm just going to fill in some example things here. Once you fill in this information, you click on Select an Instrument. That will bring you to this screen. Select your school district. Well, when you click on that box, it shows a lot of school districts. We're going to choose Allentown. Make sure that you choose Allentown, please. That will get you the Allentown prices. Then it will ask you to select your school name. From the list, just choose your school's name. I'm going to choose Ritter. Then it wants to know which instrument you'd like to rent. All of the instruments are listed here. You see for cello, level 1, 2, and 3, and for violin, level 1, 2, and 3. It's only necessary that you choose level 1. Level 1 instruments are of very good quality, and they're suitable for our elementary school students. All the instruments will be asking you the same question, but the violin and cello will ask you an extra question, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So when you click an instrument, I'm going to click violin, for example. It's going to, and this is only for violin and cello. If you're going to play the flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, trombone, snare drum, baritone, they won't ask you for this, but they will for the violin or cello. They're going to ask you which size. So you're going to want to measure yourself from your neck to your wrist. I'd like to show you exactly how to go about measuring yourself for the violin. So the measurement will go, as we mentioned, from your neck, where your shoulder meets your neck, right here, over to your wrist, when your arm is straight out to the side. From your neck to your wrist. Don't go past your wrist. That will give you the wrong size violin. Let me show you. I have my tape measure, and I'm going to hold the end of it, touching my neck, and then I will measure all the way down to my wrist. And when I see that measurement, for me, that's a little bit more than 25 inches. Yours is going to be less than that. That is the measurement I'm going to use to check the graph to see what size violin I would use. And what the measurement will show you which size violin you need. There's different sizes, 4/4 size, 3/4, half, 1/4, 1/8. So the measurements here will show you which size to choose. And for the cello, over here, you measure your child's height. All from feet to the top of the head, just how tall your child is. That measurement tells you which size cello to get. Then you scroll down and right here, select instrument size. I'm going to select 1/2. We scroll down, it shows you the fees. These, the rental fee and the maintenance fee is the total that I showed you a little earlier on the list. So once you do that, you're going to click on Select Accessories. Selecting Accessories will show you this. The rental fee, all that's included in the rental fee, and 2 boxes are checked. Music stand and Sound Innovations book. You must buy the Sound Innovations book to take your lessons, so leave that checked. Music stand, we really recommend you get a music stand, but if you decide you can't get a music stand, you can uncheck that. We really like you to get one though, but you can't uncheck the book. You got to leave that checked. And free school delivery is listed here. All right. Once you're to that spot, you click Make a Payment, and then it will ask you to add in your credit card information that will be used to charge each month. Now, the first month fee will include your rental fee per month, your music stand, and your book. After that, second month, third month, and so on will only be that lower rental fee. You pay for the book and the music stand one time, and then that's all done. All of that will be the same for the other instruments, except they won't ask you what size you need. That's only for the violin and the cello. Once you enter your billing information, you can click this box that says you agree, and then charge my card, and that will begin the rental process. Once you've finished that process, Zeswitz will let us know that you've rented an instrument, and the next step is just to wait for us to contact you to let you know it's time to pick your instrument up from your school. Remember, that delivery from Zeswitz to the school is free. We'll contact you then to let you know it's time to pick it up. I hope this information is helpful. If you still have any questions, please email your music teacher. On this screen here, you will see the schools listed, and then your teacher's name above that and their email address. If you have any questions, please let us know. Good luck, and we're excited to see you learning a musical instrument this year.